This is going to be lesson 2 from our book, Hurricane Hunters. So the other day when we read, guys, I think we did pages, we started in our book on page 4, and then we read all the way to page 14 and 15. Okay. We finished reflection question number 1 yesterday or Wednesday when we got together. So I do want you to flip over to question number 1 for me in your skill packet. And Haley, I'd like you to read that question for me so we can do a little review before we start with lesson 2. Okay. So Haley, if you could read question number 1 for me. This is one of those opinion questions. You got to make your choice, and you shared your opinion in the answer to this question. So Haley, if you'll read question number 1 for me, and Alan, if you'll read the answer when she's finished, that'll be a great way to start and a great way to review Wednesday's lesson. Okay? Give it to me, Haley.
If you were a
hurricane
explorer,
expert,
would you rather take
would you rather track
smaller
storms
from the hurricane
center,
or study them close up from a plane? Why?
Nice job. Alan, can you read the answer? I think most of us had a very similar answer, but there were a couple people that picked Hurricane Center, and somebody picked a plane. I can't remember who it was. Alan, can you read me your answer? Hey, Alan, unmute your microphone and share with us your answer.
Can I help you with the passcode?
Hold on, my baby sister wants me to help.
Okay. Would you like Malia to read the answer to question 1 while you help her?
Yeah.
Okay, that'll be great. Malia, could you share with us the answer to question 1 that you chose?
During serenity time. So that's gonna run out of battery.
Okay, Malia, share your answer with us.
If I were a hurricane expert, I would rather track storms from the hurricane center. I think the hurricane center will be fun.
Awesome. Nice job. Nice job. So we raised our answer. We restated part of the question. We answered it. And we didn't have to do the cite or explain part of that writing process. But it was a 2-part question. And then when it said why, you had to explain your particular answer. And we learned about that hurricane center, and we learned about those planes that people fly as they study hurricanes and as they track hurricanes. I thought it was kind of cool myself. Where we're going to start today is we're going to go to the first page, and I'm going to zoom in just a second. We're going to go to our first page where it says pages 2 through 9. We're going to take a couple notes from that first lesson that we read. Okay, we'll use this page of notes that we take as we take our AR test. Okay, so what I need you to do, and let me move this camera. Is that a little better? Can you see that better? What we're going to do is, I need you in your book, in the copy of your book, to turn to page 7 in your book. Oh, here comes Logan. Okay, on page 7, at the very, very first sentence, it says the National Hurricane Center is in Miami, Florida. I think that is a very important fact that we're going to use on this graphic organizer so that we can clarify our understanding of what hurricane hunters, who they are and what they do. Okay, So you're going to make yourself a little bullet point right here. Can you see it okay? And you're going to use this very first sentence. I think I'm going to abbreviate the National Hurricane Center. Okay, I'm going to call it the NHC. So that's an abbreviation for the, oh, that's terrible looking. Let me get my boo-boo tape. I've got it out here. Hold on. So by abbreviating that, it just keeps you from having to write all of those big words. Does that sound okay, Alan? The National Hurricane Center is in Miami, Florida. Has anybody ever been to Florida? Have you been to Florida, Alan? Have you? My dad lives in Florida now. When he retired, he moved to Florida. So I've been down there a bunch. National Hurricane Center is in Miami, Florida. Can you see that okay? And it's right there in the very first sentence for you on page 7. Oh, Logan's been to Florida too. Good. And I'm going to put page 7 right there. So in case I need to go back to page 7 and read a little bit more about the National Hurricane Center, it will remind me what to do. Hey, Logan, when you get a minute, flip your camera on, sweetheart, so we can see your face. There was a lot of great information on page 7. It told us that when the Hurricane Center in Miami, Florida starts tracking a hurricane, they call the Kessler Air Force Base in Biloxi, Mississippi, the home of the 53rd Weather Reconnaissance Squadron. Remember, those were great big words. Those are great big military words for there's a group of people that their job is to get in these big airplanes and fly into hurricanes and watch and see what information they can gather about a hurricane. Okay, so that all of these big words that we came across, 53rd Weather Reconnaissance Squadron, just a group of people who studies hurricanes. Okay? Yes, ma'am, Haley. You have a question? No? Okay. So, let's go to page 9 in your book, and let me see if I can do this. On page 9, at the very bottom of the page, I can't get the book back in here. The very bottom of the page on page 9, there we go. I need you to read through there and see if you can remember what the name of this great big airplane is that the U.S. Air Force uses to study hurricanes. Reread that on page 9 and see if you can come across the name of the airplanes in the first sentence. Logan, did you find it? The name of that great big airplane? Alan, did you find it? You did? Would you like to share with us the name of that great big airplane that they use to study hurricanes? What's it called, Sean or Alan?
WC-130.
Hercules.
Hercules.
That's a hard word to say. Let's use that little bit of information as our second fact that we learned when we read on Monday. Okay. Oh, we didn't. Let's see. Does that look a little better? There we go. There we go. So the WC 130. And as you write down the word Hercules, look in your book and copy that word, the name of that airplane. Copy that right onto your skill packet. Okay? And I'm going to put page 9. And I'm going to put airplane. So as we practice taking notes and we have the page numbers written down, we can always go back to that page if we need to reread or if we need to review what the WC-130 Hercules airplane does or what it's for. Okay? So as we practice taking notes as we read, they're not meant to be complete sentences. They're not meant to be every detail from what we read. Just highlights or that better, Haley? There we go. So we're going to keep practicing taking notes. And like I said, it's not supposed to be a complete sentence or it's not supposed to be every detail in the sentence. Just key points that we're going to use to trigger our memory or to go back to that particular page and reread if we need to. Miss Isom's here. Everybody say hi to Miss Isom.
Hi. What's up?
They're waving at you.
Have fun.
All right. When everybody's got that last little part done, thank you. When everybody's got that last little part done, we're going to look at question number 2 for today. We're going to read a little bit in our book, and we're going to call it a Friday. Does that sound okay? Who's ready for the weekend besides me? Owen, are you ready for the weekend? I'm ready. Nice. Nice, nice. Logan, you ready for the weekend? I am ready. So let's go ahead and look at question number 2 in your skill packet. Okay. Flip over to question number 2. Hold on. Can I get a volunteer to read question number 2 for me? Malia, would you like to read question number 2? Give it to me, Malia. You read from your skill packet, okay?
Summarize what you learned about how people prepare for a hurricane.
Nice job. That word summarize is that great big word that makes everybody nervous. Does anybody remember what the word summarize means? Haley, do you remember what it means? So I'm going to circle it with my highlighter. Summarize. Okay? So circle the word summarize with your highlighter. Let me get a different one. I don't like this one. I don't know what I did. Oh, here it is. And then we're going to highlight, you learned about how people prepare for a hurricane. What are we going to do with this part of the question that I highlighted, Haley? Do you remember what we're going to do with that? What are we going to do with this part of the question that we have highlighted?
Restate it.
Boom! Haley, you got it, sister. Right over here in the corner or the margin. I want you to write race. See how I got it on there? We're going to use that highlighted part of our question to restate it when we begin our answer. Okay, you get that, Alan? Nice. Logan, did you get it, sweetheart? Hey, Logan, turn your camera on. Now, who can remember when we have the word you in a question, who can remember what we do with that in our answer? What do we do with the word you in our answer? Can you remember, Haley?
Change it to an I.
Daggone it, we're on fire today. Make yourself a little arrow so you remember and write the word I right there. Okay, so that you remember to change that you to I when we go to write our answer. Okay, nice job. That word summarize is a big word, isn't it? So when we put this answer together, we're going to use 4 sentences. Okay, we're going to erase our answer. And as we read, we are going to find the most important parts of the story, or the most important parts from what we read. Okay? Does that sound good? So we've got to pick out the most important parts of how people prepare for a hurricane. Okay? Does everybody understand what the word prepare means? Malia, do you know what the word prepare means? Do you know what the word prepare means? Huh?
Get ready.
Nice job. Get ready. So I'm going to make you a note. Okay? Prepare means to get ready. So if you prepare for a big storm, or if you're preparing for Christmas, or if you're preparing to come back to school, you got to do something to get ready, don't you? And we're going to find 3 things people do to get ready for a hurricane. And we're going to write them down here at the bottom of our skill packet. Okay, I put myself some bullet points to remind myself. Okay, so I'm going to find 3 things that people do to get ready for a hurricane. Okay, I just should have put 1, 2, 3. Can you all see that? I just kind of wrote 1, 2, 3 down there on the bottom of my page. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So we'll find 3 things. And as we read today, I think we'll probably find those 3 things that people do when they prepare for a hurricane. Okay. Hey, Alan, when you lived in Florida, did any hurricanes ever come where you were? Alan says yes. They're a great big nasty rainstorm. All right, here we go. So slide your skill packet out of the way, and you'll need to turn to page 10 in the book that Miss Dolores so nicely copied for all of us. Okay, I'm going to try and get the book. Oh, you can see most of it. Okay, is your book on page 10 and 11, are they laying next to each other, or are they front to back? So I'm hopeful that you can see the colored picture okay. When I refer to the words, I need you to look in your book at the words. Oh, nice, Malia. Thank you for sharing that with me. So you've got your pages side by side like mine. Okay. And then the text is down here in the corner on page 11. Okay. So as I refer to that, you will be able to, you'll be able to follow along as I point to the sentence as we're looking for key vocabulary. Okay. Are you ready? Let's see on page 11 if there's anything that we need to find, any vocabulary words. Let's see if we can find the word category. I think category is coming up. Turn to page 12. Okay, turn on to page 12. Looks like a hot mess, doesn't it? On page 12, the word category. Did you find it? Put your finger on it. Got it? The word category. We got to make sure we know what that means, and we need to find the word surges. You find it down here in the bottom. Got it, Haley?
Yep.
Got it, Logan? All right, you all look at the pictures, and I'm going to use those vocabulary words for you in a sentence as you look at the pictures, okay? This is a Category 5 hurricane. So this picture on pages 12 and 13, that's a Category 5 hurricane. That is the highest rating on a scale. When the surges of wind suddenly blow even stronger, the island is no longer like paradise. I think the beaches in Florida are so pretty. A lot of people say they're like, they're pretty, they're tropical. It's like paradise down there. And when these Category 5 storms come in, makes things a big hot mess. When you look at this Category 5 rating scale, what do you think a rating scale is? Do you know what a rating scale is, Alan? Can you tell me what you think a rating scale is? If a Category 5 is the highest rating you can get on a rating scale, what is that?
So, rating scale is how bad is the hurricane?
Yeah. And if a 5 is the highest rating you can get, is that as bad as it gets? What would be like a real light hurricane? What rating you think a real light hurricane or a small hurricane would get? A 1?
Yeah.
Nice job. I agree. Perfect. Keep turning these pages as we go on 14 and 15. Remember, we reviewed all of this yesterday as well. These guys get in this airplane and they fly into these storms. Go on to page 17. Can you see where the airplane is there on page 17?
Yes.
Can you see it? Does it look like they're flying above the clouds there?
Yes.
They're way high up in the air, aren't they? I think they are. Keep going. Pages 18 and 19. Are those can you see those pictures of these boats? And they have these great big nets hanging from their boats.
Yes.
Those are the nets they use to catch fish and different things. And these fishermen sell the fish. What do you think would happen to that boat if it was out in the ocean during a hurricane? What do you think would happen, Logan? What if one of these boats got stuck out in the ocean during a hurricane? What do you think would happen? Be a hot mess, wouldn't it? Keep going to pages 20 and 21. Look at these people with their house. What does it look like they're doing, Haley, on pages 20 and 21? Look at these pictures.
Building it.
They're building it. Alan, share with us what you think they're doing with this house. Since you've been in Florida, you might have already done this.
Rebuilding?
Well, they're putting these boards over glass windows and doors.
This is Miss Alva gas weeding, not.
So they're getting ready for a storm. You got big winds, and look at them taking the boat down over here on the side. They're trying to protect their windows and doors from being broken during the storm. One more page. Let's see what else happens right here. Page 22 and 23.
I didn't look in the to-do, but
The first one on there.
Okay. Look, here's a little picture of a school bus down here in the corner. I think this looks like a school bus. All right. That's how far we're going to read today. We're going to go to page 22 and 23. Now, one of the big things I like about this book, There is some text on each page, but there's not a ton of words. You need to use the pictures to help you visualize what the story is sharing with you. Sometimes when there's lots of words on a page and it's not real interesting for me to look at, I don't like it. Okay, so the pictures, the illustrations in this book are very important. Okay, so let's go back. All right, let's go back to page 12. Who'd like to read first? Haley, you want to read first for me?
Sure.
Everybody on page 12. Now, don't forget, we're going to summarize how people get ready for a hurricane, okay? So question number 2 is what we're looking for answers on. So as we read, if we come across something that starts to tell us how people get ready for a hurricane, throw your hand up there and we'll stop and take some notes, okay? Come on, Haley, give us page 12. We're going to go back and review a little bit what we read yesterday.
The hurricanes
Now
have a
category
category 5 with wind over 65 million.
No, 165
165
miles.
miles per hour.
Yes, ma'am.
Streets
Steers
never
near
near a small
tropical.
island.
Nice job. Keep going. Pouring
Rain, high wind, and
storm surges
struggling are
tearing
staring at this
paradise.
paradise.
I think Florida's pretty. Did you like it when you lived in Florida, Alan? I think Florida's pretty. Hey, Alan, you want to do page 14 for me? And Logan, you can do 15? Okay, perfect. Come on, Alan. You want me to make the camera closer, or are you guys doing okay following along with your copies?
Put the camera up closer.
Okay. I was trying to get the... No. There we go. Okay, give it to me, Alan. Malia, get ready. You're coming up next too, sister. Come on, Alan. Unmute yourself, buddy.
While the pilot fly.
Read from your book. Read from your book.
Pilot flight. Engineer. And
Navigator
guide the plane. The weather
officer
watches this storm as his screen. It is now over 200 miles
wide.
Nice
job. Nice job. So inside that plane, you got all these people flying into the middle of this storm. Logan, you ready on page 15? Okay. Unmute yourself, Logan. There you go.
The true graders info that will help predict how big the storm will get and where it might hit. This helps save lives.
Nice job. Nice job. So these pilots and flight engineers, that might be the first thing people do as they prepare for a hurricane. They got to study it first, don't they? Malia, you think you can do all of page 17? This is my kind of book. There's not a whole lot of words on the page, and if I was you all, I'd be super happy about that. All right, Malia. Good job, Logan. Anytime you're ready, Malia.
Chasing a 10,000 feet, the horse battles along. The drone on the full turbine engine vibrates through the
Fuselage.
fuselage.
There's a lot of big words in this book that you've probably not heard before.
A raw,
Grayish.
grayish white cloud, soon to be smooth
Part.
part of the flight will be over.
So they're flying this plane up above the clouds, and it's really a smooth flight. So there's no, they're just flying along, and it's not real bumpy or uncomfortable. Let's see what happens next. Haley, you want to go again? On page 18?
Sure.
Okay. Follow along with your fingers so you don't lose track of where we are, okay?
Okay. Along the
Coast,
coast,
local,
local
forecasters,
forecasters got words from the
national,
national hunters,
hurricane,
hurricane
center,
center, and
spread,
the
warnings,
warnings. Fishermen bring their
vessels,
vessels up inland waterways.
waterways. Good. So the fishermen bring their ships and their boats off the ocean, and they bring them inland so that they're not out in the ocean when these storms hit. Who's going next on page 21? Logan, you want to do it? Make sure you're looking at the pictures as you're following along as others take turns reading. Okay, that word is homeowners.
Homeowners board up the doors and windows and tie down anything loose.
Nice. I think that's probably something we need to make note of here in just a minute. Nice job. And hey, Malia, one more page on page 22. You want to do it for me? Page 22 at the very top. Alan, follow along, sweetie. Go ahead, Malia.
While the
Emergency.
emergency repair crews move in, the people
Heed.
heed warnings to start evacuating.
That's kind of an odd word too, heed. Has anybody heard that word before? Have you never heard that word before? Let me get you a quick definition of the word heed, and we'll use that. Hang on just a second. When it says the people heed warnings and start evacuating, that means they start paying attention. The word heed means to pay attention to or to take notice of. So they start paying attention to all the warnings that they're getting from the hurricane people about this storm that's coming. You think we got enough information to take some notes on what people do to prepare for hurricanes? I think we've got some, don't we? Let's go back. Let's go back here. Excuse me. Let's go all the way back to page 14 for just a minute, and we'll take ourselves some notes. Pages 14 and 15. I think the very first thing people do. What, Haley? You have a question? the very first thing people do to prepare for a hurricane, the crew gathers information that will help predict how big the storm will be.
I think it would be nice.
So, do you think that's the very
I
first?
don't want it to get smushed like it did.
Do you think that's the very first thing that people do to prepare for a hurricane? They start gathering information about the storm. Let's make ourselves a note. All the way down here. Is that close enough? There we go. All the way down here. We're going to say gather info. You know what info means? Hey, Alan, get these notes taken on the bottom of your page, buddy.
Miss Hill, can you zoom in a little bit?
I don't know if I can get any closer. How's that?
Good.
Can you see that a little better?
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Gather info. Come on, Alan. And I'm going to put in parentheses. I found that on page 15. Okay. Can you see it? All right. They start to gather info. After you write that down, I want you to flip through pages 16 and 17 and see what happens next. After they start, look on page 18. You ready, Haley? You ready, Logan? Everybody turn to page 18. Do you see on page 18 where it says local forecasters get word from the Hurricane Center and they spread warnings? Does that sound like something that happens as you're preparing for a hurricane? Start spreading warnings? Y'all are quiet today. I'll tell you what, fourth grade about wore me out. So let's, on number 2, we're going to say we're going to spread warnings. Uh-oh, hold on. Can you see it now?
Yes.
Can you see it, Malia?
Your hands in
Oh, there we go. Can you see it now?
Yeah.
Logan, you got it? Hey, Alan, we got to find one more thing. Look on page 21 and see if you can find one more thing that people do as they're preparing for a hurricane. Okay? Look on page 21.
They board up windows.
Dang, what else do they do after they board up windows and what else? What else they do, Alan? Go to your book and tell me what else they do besides board up windows. Board up windows and tie down anything loose. I'm going to put tie down. You see that, Haley? There we go.
No.
Hey, Haley, turn your microphone off, honey, until we're done taking notes. All right, when you're done, show me your skill packet so I can see it. Am I talking too loud, Alan? Sometimes I'm just loud. I don't mean to be.
I heard someone in the background yelling.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Sometimes I think my voice is too loud. Thank you, Malia. Sometimes I think my voice is too loud. Sometimes I think you can also hear what else is going on if other people don't have their mics muted. Nice job, Logan. Nice job, Haley. Alan, did you get it?
I don't know where's my packet is.
What is it, sweetheart?
I don't know where's my packet.
Oh, you don't have your packet? Did you put it back in your binder?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I'll take a picture and send it to you, okay?
All right.
So I'll tell you what, that's where we're going to stop today. We are going to stop right here, okay? And we're going to pick up on Monday morning, and we're going to write our summary about what people do to prepare for a hurricane, okay? I think it's a little more than you all want to get into on a Friday afternoon. But I think we had a great lesson. You all did a super great job reading out loud to me. You all did a really nice job picking out the most important facts that we could find that will let us put together our answer first thing when we have class on Monday. Okay? So, Alan, I need you to find your skill packet, stick it in your binder so that you have it first thing Monday morning, because that's where we're going to start. Okay? Do you like this book so far? I think it's a great book, and I really like all these illustrations. And what we're going to do as we continue with this book, it's also an AR book, so we'll take an AR test on it as well. Okay? Anybody have any questions? I think you did a great job. We're going to keep practicing how to summarize your answer, okay? And we're going to keep practicing our oral reading fluency. I think it really helps us understand and remember what we're reading, okay? So if you don't have any questions, I will see you guys Monday about 11, okay? You all have a super great weekend.
Okay.
All right.
Bye.
Bye, guys.